Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build live from Oak Hill Works. How are you all doing? I hope you are well. We are back with the camera now going back to where it should be before I punched it like literally 2 minutes before the live stream. We are back with the SE&CR four-wheelers, which should, fingers crossed, should come to an end this evening. So, obviously these two are done. Yes, the microphone's working and it wasn't muted. Isn't it great, James? Yes, these two are obviously finished. These two, however, still need their interiors painting. They need some roofs on their bird cages. They need glazing. And this one needs its chassis rebuilding. We are going to start tonight by preparing the birdcage roofs. For those that saw my video on Tuesday, you will know what we're going to do. Of course, it involves my coffee press. Working microphones are the best sort of microphones. That they are. And it involves some 10 foul plasticard. And of course it does involve boiling water, as anything involving a coffee press should. So I already know how big this needs to be. Not least because I actually have, look, there's a birdcage roof sitting there that I made earlier. We're not using that one though. We are going to be making this oversize. Just going to cut this bit off the edge here. So I'm going to measure it up to the roofs and mark it bigger than it needs to be. It's then also probably going to be cut even bigger than that to give it a better fit in the coffee press. So we'll mark there. We'll mark there. That is how long it needs to be. And if I draw some lines like that, we know what way it is. Do you have any birds to go with it? Unfortunately, James, I do not have any birds to go with the bird cages. And we're going to mark oversize there. And look at this, Mr. Organiser finally dug out his set square so that we can make sure we draw this line straight. It's only been 65 episodes. So, we have that marked. And obviously we want it to bend that way when it's done. Good evening, Heritage Railway Productions. I am very well, thank you. How are you today? Fortunately, James, no, the kitten hasn't eaten them all on this occasion. Although it did try on several attempts to get in the house earlier. So I'm actually going to cut this wide enough so that it can fit down between these two arms here and be wrapped around like that. So in fact it wants to be very slightly longer than where I've cut that to already. It did not succeed at getting in the house. So there we have that nice and rounded on there. That will hold it in shape without putting any pressure on it. So now all it needs is some boiling water. And luckily for that, I did prepare this earlier. So I've just filled that up, past the plastic. I'll stick the lid back on and leave it to the side. We will come back to that later and have two nice curved bits of plasticard for making the roofs. Good evening, Javier. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Well, hot way to mould it. Good idea. Good evening, Sparkshot. How are you, sir? Good to see you. And yes, I used that cafetiere to bend up this bit, which, although it's not actually quite wide enough or long enough, it was a practice. If I put it over there, is absolutely perfect on the top of the birdcage roof. Doing very nicely. Just finished watching Airplane. Oh, excellent. I've not seen that for a very long time. What an excellent bit of film it is. So with that done, next thing we need to do is get the interiors of these painted. This one first, then this one, then we can rebuild the chassis on this one so that the wheels don't fall out. Haven't seen Airplane for a long time. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Pretty good. 2/3 of the curves laid, the curve and end up. You got a layout, board joints soldered and cut, rolls, test passed. Yeah, excellent. Excellent indeed. That is going. I'm glad to hear that is going so well. And good evening, J94. How are you? I hope you are well. So I'm going to do a quick plug here because it's awesome. The Rule 1 by Railway Mania, available from Railway Mania's website at railwaymania.net. Full review of this coming on Tuesday, but I want to bring it in now because this would have been a brilliant tool to have when doing these. As you can see, it's got a lot of things on it. And if you can get one, if you want to do these and you can get one of these, or you're doing anything like this, actually, it has a centre finder. Railway Mania is the best sort of mania. It is indeed. So for doing these roofs where I was marking the centre, measuring 13mm out and cutting them, if I'd have had one of these, there is my centre and 13mm each side. just from getting the measurement off of here lined up. So that is an excellent bit of kit, and I would definitely advise one. Corb's Railway Mania. Indeed it is Corb's Railway Mania. And yes, it is a very, very handy tool. As a full review of this coming on Tuesday, it has just passed. It has been passed by the creators. So I just wanted to plug that there as something to point out. If you're cutting holes in roofs and stuff, it's blooming brilliant. And I wish I had had it sooner so that I could do that. So it's interior painting time. That means black, because that's how I do interiors. And we're going to do something that will hopefully, don't forget Tom, indeed. Well, Tom is mentioned in the review. Tom actually designed the, Tom of TS Design designed this. And it is sold under the Railway Mania brand. It's all covered in Tuesday's video. So I've been following Corb since I joined SIF 13 or so years ago. Like nothing to get after getting spray paint insurance and sorting out the desk. 2006, 14. It's quite a while to. I've been following Corb since I joined RM Web. So yes, something I'm hoping will make Linny happy, because I know Linny likes good painting. I have finally got new paintbrushes. I have got lots of new paintbrushes in lots of different sizes. Hello, Tom. Look at you getting a plug early. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Interesting. What sort of bristles? Yes. Good point, James. I can't remember. But look at how nice and clean and not ruined they are. Darn focus. Aren't they nice? Usually use sable brushes, but I rate the Citadel ones too, whatever they are. Acrylic maybe, yeah. These ones I grabbed off eBay. So I've got loads of them in various sizes, down to O. So hopefully they'll last me a while. I do, however, need to do some paint stock replenishment, especially this one, because that has sealed over. And I don't particularly fancy using one of my new brushes to stab through it. There we go. Hole in the skin made. O size for painting Lone Star models. Aha! Yes. Very good. Very good, Linny. And there's James showing he has all the faith in me that anyone can be expected to have. Ruin brushes turn into flux when you turn metal powder out, so they do here. Yeah, I've got a few of my old ones still for jobs like that. but I didn't have any decent brushes anymore, so it is so nice to have a proper set of brushes again. Maybe just say hi Jake for a few minutes, wondering how everyone is doing. Good evening, Max. I am very well, thank you. How are you? Yes, I know about Blue Tack, Alex, but to be honest, there's so little in this one, and it's so thick where the lid's obviously not sealed properly. I don't think it's at risk of spilling. Can't tell from my flux. Put a tiny umbrella in it. Just fine. Excellent. Excellent. Glad to hear it. So I've had an absolutely fantastic day, and I am feeling very happy as a result, and very positive about modelling. And I hope everyone else is having a good day. Has everyone else had a good day? Oh, and there is a link to Discord from Becca. Thank you for advertising the Discord. Very much appreciated. I mean, it's not a bad shout to join my Discord. We have a great community there. There are indeed even pictures of kittens. Even I put a picture of a kitten on there today after my long wandering cat decided to, well, not mine, but you know, the cat that occasionally wanders in decided to come and visit again today for the first time in ages. And amazingly, it saw me and came running up to me, which it's never done on any previous occasion. Having a great day today. Platform building continues apace. Excellent. Oh, Flux Cocktail. Well, I did get a bit of Carl's green in mouth a few times, touching finger to face. If your tongue dissolving, it's a rush toothpaste hydrochloric acid. I think, oh, that does not sound fun. I don't think I've ever accidentally put any flux in my mouth. Or on purpose, for that matter. I should probably clarify. I definitely haven't done it on purpose. Yes, I have now got one of those plastic storage container trays to put my wagons and coaches in. Excellent. Feels like a pot noodle burn. God, I've not had a pot noodle in years either. Something I'm sure my old flight sergeant would be very, very happy to hear. Sack of all snacks. Indeed, Sparkshot. Indeed. Basically, I'll get more room for locos. Indeed. Yes. It is excellent. More storage is the best kind of storage, I find. So that is halfway across this carriage. I'm running really low on this paint now because of where it's not sealed properly. So hopefully we'll get both of these carriage interiors painted black. I don't have any other black. Let's see if I can get that a bit more open. Is not sealed code for spilled over the workbench several times. No. That was the much more expensive Phoenix paint that got spilled over the workbench several times. This one, the top didn't seal properly, and I've got a massive thick skin across the top of it. I don't know how much paint there is actually below the skin. Which kits are these? Haven't seen the early vids on and modified. They are indeed modified Great Western ratio Great Western four-wheelers. So it's been an interesting build, turning them from those into these. Splash. No, the skin is too dry for that, and I don't think there's I think there's enough in there to do it, but not enough for thinners to actually make a difference. I'll just have to be a bit careful with it. I built several decades ago, whereas so they often fell off the rails, possibly my dodgy track build quality. Maybe I'll be better now. Possibly. I saw you posted one to Twitter the other day, didn't you? I did see. So the third and the composite are completely unmodified. They're just painted in southeastern colours. Whereas obviously these ones have been, the brakes have been cut and shut about to make the ones I have drawings of here. And they match very nicely. Yeah, that was one that still runs okay. It was having a clear out. Yep. Fair enough. So it certainly looked good. I really liked the paint job on it. And I've totally mullered the chassis on this one, so you won't be the only person to have built them bad. The only times I've had problems with my ratio coaches when I chop them up a bit, never could get them running properly. Well, this one runs alright, even on rails. And that's with a chopped in half chassis that has some gaps that need filling. Thanks, the other one has a hyper warped body side, bent so much I can't seem to rectify it. Ouch! That's not good. So, we know that Linny is platform building on his layout. What is everyone else up to this evening? Please do let me know. I like to hear about what projects you've got on the go. DCC fitting Engage class 56s. Excellent. DCC fitting means an expanding fleet. That is always good. Green lining on this footbridge cart, that must be fiddly in Engage, Simon. Waiting to get paid so I can get some primer and continue my projects and building a Stroy. Yeah. I approve of getting paid and I approve of getting primer. And in fact, I approve of everything. Okay, raise the curve it's about building multiple manning wardles. I mean, multiple manning wardles is the best type of manning wardle, to be fair. I certainly approve of that. Did a running session yesterday for the first time in months. Excellent. Love a good running session. Class 56 wasn't that a GWR 62? But how's the overall? Doing some local history research, trying to find old photos and what have you. No luck. Internet sucks. The internet does indeed suck. So we have a very nice local history group in Hicktown who are, well, when they're able to meet every month, are great for finding details and photos of local stuffs. Much better than the internet. Yes. Today I made and painted a new backboard for my layout. I've also ballasted a section of track and made the signalman's walk away from the platform to the signal box. Ah, loads then. That all sounds like very good progress. So I managed to revert Kobo back to 00 from P4 and direction light and sorted function. Oh, didn't know. So it was second-hand loco with no destructions. Ah, I'm glad that's gone successfully for you. Stroblated, hello, did not get a notification. Hello, Anthony, welcome. How are you? It is a shame how YouTube feels the need to not notify people, isn't it? I've never quite understood why they just decide maybe you want a notification, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter that you've pressed this button to get notifications. Proof of Kobo is Tom living the dream. He is, isn't he, Becca? So I'll do some more O4 CAD tomorrow, mainly the engine company's doing. You're going to get in touch with the Civic Society, they have a good archive. Ah, excellent, Alex, excellent. I care if I'm you here, hi, spell shop. I have 2 tabs open. It's fine, spot shot, looking forward. What chassis will it take? Converted high met back to double O. No chip yet. Keeps slowing down and stopping though. Unsure how. Oh, that's an interesting one. That does not sound good. Hopefully you are able to find a fix for that. No 4 chassis from Batman or O3 mostly. Well, thank you. Hope you're well as well. And well, that's a debt for the well. I will go. I am very well, thank you, Anthony. I've had a great day, and now I'm hoping I should get this Rake of Carriages finished tonight, which will be absolutely fantastic. And we will be moving back to a loco project with the LBSCR D3 once they are done. Might be overheating or maybe a micro short. Pretty even though it's a smooth runner. That is rather rubbish. Let's clear some more of this out of the way, and I think there's plenty of paint in there. Yeah, that was hiding loads of paint. Absolutely loads of it. But this is the end of this tin. So I definitely need to do some paint replenishing this week. I think I'm even going to have to do the very strange thing of buying some actual black this week. Oh, and there we have all the links coming in from Alex. That must make it about 9:30. It's almost like he does these things on a schedule to keep me going. What do we have? We have the Twitter, we have the website, we have the Discord, we have my merch store, my Patreon account, and my donate. Actual black, what black do you normally use? Very dark grey. Hi, sorry I'm late, been busy this evening. Do not worry about being late, Dave. Welcome. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Grey is the new black. Indeed it is. But I came across a chance find of a loco, a kit, very cheap. Way cheaper than it should be. So I snapped it up, and it's only going to be built and sold. And I do believe black is going to be the best livery to stick it in for the ease of, I don't want to spend loads of time on a kit that is just to make money. Thought about Patreon, but I don't upload vids often on schedule, so no idea how realistic to offer anything to anyone. Any thoughts or advice? Honestly, I only set up a Patreon because I was told to. It does help pay for the channel and keep it going. It keeps the projects coming in. But yeah, I purely set it up because I was told to set it up by someone that wanted to donate to me. I'm very well. Purchased the Annie and Clarabelle coaches tonight, so I'm stripping and repainting, so I'm glad I'm catching this. Excellent. Excellent indeed. Glad to hear it. And good evening, Paderborn. How are you this evening, sir? I hope you are well. So, Gary, what was this kit you were making and selling? It is a K's LBSC K class that I got on eBay for a lot less than you would normally see them, and I couldn't not get it for that price. Honestly, plenty of people with sporadic schedules still have a Patreon, probably still worth giving it a go. Sparkshot, there you go. That is Alex the Mole's opinion. Sparkshot stopped you a few minutes ago with a question, but are you the one with the video about selling some locos? I do believe that was Sparkshot, but I shall allow him to answer. Okay, just don't really have anything to offer on tier settings. I don't want to take only, so in a mental commentary sort of extra income would sure help at the moment though. Well, I mean, if you set it up and people choose to donate, that is their decision. It's not like you're forcing them to donate to you. Many don't have tier rewards, many just have the basic £5, £6. Yeah, I don't have any rewards for Patreons except for you get a green name on my Discord server. Because, you know, green is the colour of money and all that, if we lived in America. Yeah, I made remember to do remember, like, subscribe, all that good YouTuber stuff that I definitely haven't forgotten to say so far this evening. I would never forget these things. Next you'll be telling me it's 20 to 10 and I haven't even hydrated yet. Despite Linny having earlier posted the hydration is important. I would never do that. So that's just not a thing. fine. Hope everyone else is too. I am very well, thank you, Paderborn. Okay, is it possible to get GWR decals I could put on these coaches when I've done them? And if so, where could I get them? There definitely is. I don't know who it is that sells Great Western decals though, but they are definitely out there. Doing well with painting. I was just checking in. May pop in later. So maybe within another hour and a half. If not, have a good night. Okay. Good night, Max. Thank you for popping by. I hope you can pop in later, but if not, do not worry about it. And thank you, Simon, for the donation. That is very much appreciated, sir. It really does mean a lot. Fox transfers, seen someone happens too. There we go, Dave. Fox transfers. That does sound like a good call, Becca. Becca certainly knows more of modelling the Great Western than myself. And I can recommend Fox transfers. I have got stuff from them in the past and have been very happy with them. So, yes, everybody, please do remember, hydration is important. HMRS Press 6 transfers good for lining, although I apply them water slide decal works fine. Ah, interesting. I return having accidentally weathered my layout with hemoglobin. That's not a good way to weather your layout, Linny. I do not recommend hemoglobin based weathering. So that is our interiors painted. First job done. Have any of you guys done the lining on a kit? Hang on a second. How's coat sales sounds like anything you could do with some PPE? Indeed, James, but the command still doesn't exist. Cutting some bits around to check rounds for the barrow crossing and sharp bits slice my finger. Ouch. So, J94. I have done some basic lining on my Percy. I have done some complicated lining on a P-Class. And I've done some very nice lining on a Peckett. And the Peckett is Fox transfers, in fact, the lining. You know, I've got a few more out there that I've got some that I've made the transfers for myself, but those are the ones I have to hand. I painted a few logos of hemoglobin too, couldn't get stained but surprised over and cracked on. Yeah, it does stain, doesn't it? Have I done lining on coaches and logos? In fact, one of Gary's logos. Indeed, Linny has done the lining on one of my logos, but it's not to hand right now. Done the prototype Dell kit taken, it took months. Yes, there are certainly some lining jobs that take an unreasonably long time. The Perkinator. Thank you, J94. So those three are ones I have to hand that I've done the lining on. And people will notice, because I was asked this, the Peckett has its lamp on, which is the lamp we found on the workbench recently. So it has made it onto a loco. I've added one on the back as well, and I've given it some coal. Fury was a pig to line and the tender. Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was. Right, so next job. We need to take the salt bars off this one and get them stuck on there straight, because they are wildly out. So this is going to be fun. Hopefully, because I've super glued them, they should snap reasonably cleanly. That's actually now straight. If I can get that to stay there and re-glue it, then that's that side done. And that side is also now straight. So if I get some glue on those and get them held in place, that's nearly another job jobbed. Seen people recreate Fury in 00, it looks cool. Who? I've only seen my model of Fury in 00. I'll say I don't think I've seen anything other than your model of Fury, Sparkshot. And I only saw that the other day, when you tweeted the video of it. Yep, so now if we get the other side done, those wheels are going to fit in there nicely. Very nicely indeed. Got an article in the past railway modeller. Ah, I do not pick up the modeller and haven't done for a long while. My magazine of choice is MRJ. Can't remember the name, he's not on YouTube. He also made New Build Patriot. I've not seen your model of Fury, and I follow you on the bird noise thing. Should be some pics in my RM web gallery. Ah, I will have to go and have a look at your RM web gallery as well. Yeah, those are quite nice there now. So we've not had to completely dismantle it, just beat it up a bit. And just a bit more down there, just to make sure. Stopped by a railway magazine, except on occasions. Used to love reading them. Getting bored of the same old, same old. How to ballast track the traditional way for the umpteenth time. Yes, MRJ is usually pretty good at not having stuff like that, and a lot of the stuff it does have is more advanced than a lot of the other magazines. So I do enjoy that one, whereas the other ones did get a bit samey to me. Although, of course, I'll change my opinion on them completely if they want to pay me for an article. Not that my opinion is that fickle or anything. But Railway Modeller, if you're listening, my email is somewhere about. MR Journal's good for the fine scale stuff. I'm also a Scale 4 member, and that magazine's pretty good, even though I'm not really doing P4 at the moment. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, I, as a 00 modeller, still read MRJ and find it the best magazine. And I have no intentions of ever going P4. Although I am seriously considering hand-built track after discussing it with you the other day. Hydration is still important, as is not knocking over your coaches. To be honest, I don't buy model railway magazines much, too busy saving up and buying locos and stuff for my layout. Yeah. NWR was going to be P4, but the damn curves forced my hand. 00. Can fit a 13 foot by 2 foot P4 layout above though. Oh, excellent. More layouts is the best type of layouts. And good evening, Great Northern. How are you? I hope you are well. That one is still slightly too wide. That one, on the other hand, is fine. Yeah, after a while, magazine money soon adds up over the years. It literally been thousands of pounds. Not the best. Indeed it does. Good, thank you. I am very well, thank you. I am glad you are good too. I think for that one, our best course of action will be a little bit more glue in a second. And some brass bearings. The brass bearings not quite pushed in all the way. And just a little lip on each side to make the gap that tiny bit smaller. Go back over a shower. Okay, enjoy your shower, Becca. Gets worse when you find hidden stash of railway related magazines that you forgot you had. See, I can't forget about my railway magazines. Other than a few select issues of things like BRM and Railway Modeller that I have got for a specific article. The only magazines I have are a full collection of MRJs, including issue 0. And there we are, some nicely fitting wheels. And just like that, we have some carriages that can actually couple. Getting the cups in square can sometimes be a bug. It can make it break moment. It can indeed. I've not had too many issues with the ones I get, which are, let's see if we got there we go, we've got an original pack to plug them from HA models, who were recommended to me some time ago by Linny, and I have been very happy with them ever since. Recently received full bag railway magazines from the 80s from a family friend. Oh, very nice. Issue 0 is MRJ written by computer programmers. Trial issue to see how well it went down back in the days when it was printed in a living room. Well, I think it still is actually, saying that. With magazines, apart from odd ones, I cut them up, got a takeaway box with drawings, pictures, select articles, everything else, and the adverts are binned. Great space saver, indeed. The amount of adverts in some of the magazines is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? That they must have made so much money on those adverts they don't actually need to charge for the magazine. Cynical, aren't I? So the next thing we need is some glazing in these, which incredibly the paint feels dry enough for. Certainly in this one, we'll let that one sit for a bit longer whilst we get some glazing in. So for those that don't remember, I've actually got some scissors sat with me this week. There's 2 for them, and then we want 6 bits for across the compartments. They will all be the same size as the compartments are identical. Just cut them out of clear acetate. Of which I have plenty lying around. Literally 50-65% some issues are adverts. Indeed they are. Just popped a pic on Discord for you, Gary. Excellent, Simon. I shall look forward to seeing that shortly. Well, say shortly, it'll be another couple of hours before I get to look at it. But it's not that long, is it? So we need to cut another strip on here. And I will use the existing bits we've cut to line up my ruler, because my steel rule is not long enough before someone suggests how easy it is to cut into a plastic ruler. Don't worry, I know. I do have a steel one, but it's small. So we've got 3 of these. That's enough for one side of our carriage. We've already got 2 for the back doors. So now we just want to line up and cut another 3 of these. It helps if you don't lose where you're cutting. That's Gary's top tip. Are my top tips any good? Who knows? And so there is all the windows to the side of this carriage. I say side because we will also have to do there and up here. Would it be reasonable to use one glazing sheet each side and then add the coach dividers cut down, or cut slots in the dividers and add the glazing as a strip after? Yes, that is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Honestly, I think I only get ones with drawings anymore. We do get the odd Hornbill railway modeler. But yeah, that would be a perfectly reasonable thing to do, Sparkshot. Another thing that you can do is the glue and glaze that I use to glue these windows in can actually be used to create the windows. Which, I mean, I prefer doing it on small ones like this, but it can be used and dragged over the opening. This can create the actual window itself. But I use it because even when it's completely covered a window. So these ones here had absolutely loads of overspill on them. But can you see it? No, not at all. So I just use it to stick on acetate personally. And you can use a lot less than I do, but it tends to come out too fast with me. In use microscale crystal clear mini windows. If the apertures are too big, they can look a bit bubbly though. I've never had this go bubbly when I've used it for windows, and I do have a couple of locos that I have used this for the windows for. So I certainly can say it does work. I just prefer using acetate. That one's a bit too long. I think it's more that it's at an angle actually. That's better, that one's pushed in properly now. This one's also at an angle. Has anyone just looked at a loco that was for sale and thought, I'll buy that because it looks nice? Many times. Oh, and a bit long. Also, to glue glazing as you are, possibly the same stuff. Thin PVA, I think. When it goes thick, just add water. Yeah, glue and glaze is essentially thin PVA. I think we all do. Temptation of the eye, and feel more, slow down, analyse more instead. It's a great money saver. Yeah. So I have certainly many times in the past thought, oh, that's pretty, and bought it. analysing things and actually deciding whether they're worth the money is a very good idea. It becomes highly recommended. Still not gone in properly. And there we go, that is that side in. Now we've just got to do the same for the other side. BRB, okay, Spark Shot. Certainly Herbert prevented me from buying a terrier. Can't choose which one to get. All terriers are worth having. Look, I even have one on the workbench here tonight. With some early version SE&CR overlays on it. Stuck between about 4 or 5, I think. Only 4 or 5. I have 8 so far. And I do mean so far. I won't be done with terriers till I have the whole class. Including now an Isle of Wight one, because I decided the other day that I want an Isle of Wight one. Oh, look at a loco I like. That'll be over my train budget. Carriage looking great so far, dipping in and out. See, we're going well. Thank you, Corbs. Good to see you here. You got a plug earlier. With a promise of more coming on Tuesday. And there we go, glazed. But obviously not quite glazed yet. Which Isle of Wight one are you getting? I will be getting W14 Bembridge, because I grew up on an estate where all the streets were named after towns on the Isle of Wight, and I happened to grow up on one named after Bembridge. Sharma. Only for you, Corpse. Only for you. And Tom. Back Oreo cheesecake. Nice. Very nice. The only terror I've seen in real life was Stepney. Stepney's not even the only one on the Bluebell. That is big enough, and what we do here is we use my magic trick of being able to tell these things by eye. And just start cutting away. And that looks good to me. Let's check it from this side. Always do as many checks as you can. Yep, that still looks good to me. Corbs is right, you know, everyone. Hydration is important. Benbridge is one of the 4 or 5 I'm stuck between. So my favourite livery for them will always be Improved Engine Green. The livery and the locos look like they were designed for each other. But they are very nice engines. Never met Fenchurch or the others. Fair enough. He's only Fenchurch and Stepney are the only ones at the Bluebell. Obviously they are my favourite engines there. And so there we have the back window on as well. I'm going to try and remember which of these front ones goes on that carriage now. These roofs are slightly different. It's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So we're going to get this glazed, and that is going to be this carriage glazed. It'll just need its birdcage roof adding. I've been to the York NRM many times but never saw Box Hill. Isn't it tucked away in a corner somewhere really obscure now? Although I hear it's coming back out of its corner at some point. Box Hill is tucked away now, I've no idea why. Yeah, see, there we go. It is a shame. It's interesting to think that after Nettle comes out of service, the smallest steam locomotive in operation on the Bluebell will be the H-Class, which isn't really a small locomotive. That depends on when they get Primrose running again. I say their aim is to always have a P-Class or Terrier running. And I'm surprised Nettle is still in service since it's only got one cylinder that works. Evidently. There is Nettle. And good evening, Thomas. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Where was Box Hill in the NRM? Hidden. I don't know whereabouts. What's this in the big tent next to the miniature railway? Question: what happens if Nettle stops with one working cylinder on top dead centre? That's a very good point. I don't know. But it's got a way. Nettle has been on one cylinder for quite a while. It did its entire stint at the NRM on one cylinder, for example. So I have no idea what the plan is if that happens. Get pushing. They also extended boys to his after the 60th. Good cheers, how's everyone? Diggory doing? I am very well, thank you, Thomas. Yes, you got to get out with a pinch bar. Yeah. I'd not even thought about that. Yeah, the reason Nettle was chosen as the loco to loan to the NRM when they asked for a P-Class was, oh, well, it's only got one cylinder and it won't need to do hard work up there, so one cylinder will be fine. And there we have the roof glazed. So that is that carriage glazed. We can put it back down the right way now. I think that rear one has sat long enough to be stuck. At least Nettle doesn't have a hole in the boiler. That's very true. Bluebell's over on Oak Hill at the minute. It's not here. Literally tucked Box Hill into the back corner. It's such a shame. It really is. I should really turn this carriage round so that the transferred side is facing out, shouldn't I? Looks much better that way round. So, it's glazing time. Let's get these two cut and placed as far away as we can. Box Hill isn't the only OSO I've never seen. You know, it's sad to think it will probably never run again. It is indeed sad to think that. Personally, I think for historical reasons, they should put it back to being a 240 and make it run again and say, look, this is a Terrier as a 240. They did. Box Hill was like this for 8 years. In the very early parts of the 20th century. Isn't it interesting? And everyone will say, yes, that's very interesting. I'm very glad you did that. And it is something different to all the other terriers about. It's a little upsetting that they're painting Primrose into Southern Olive Green and not 1960s Bluebell Black. I mean, I'd rather it was in Wainwright livery, But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it's nice to see them in actual liveries they wore in service rather than preservation. And of course, they've got enough in Wainwright. They don't need another one in Wainwright. What they could do, though, is the wartime livery. Well, they could even put it into ROD livery. Because, of course, Primrose went to war. That's annoying. That's about half the length I need. They don't need another one in Wainwright. No, they need two in Wainwright. I was asking for that, really, wasn't I? There we go, that should be enough for that final window, don't we think? Used a little bit for the guard's window. Nope, I'd already cut the bit for the guard's window. The grey livery, no, it wore olive green for the wall. There's no such thing as too many logos in full Wainwright. It's only Beulah was also converted, and that one is sadly gone. Indeed, Great Northern. Very true, but nice seeing ROD since the tank's already painted in it. Is the tank actually still in that livery? Has it not gone back to become a part of the loco? You see, I am, because I've got my Dean Sidings kit of Primrose, and I've also got a proper Primrose. I'm tempted to do this one into the ROD livery, but every time I look at it, it's the first ever loco I lined. I don't want to do it. Oh, the classic argument of what was ROD livery, because at least 4 out there people think it was. Well, we know what colour the P classes wore, because they were painted at Ashford and sent to France. Painted olive green with their numbers on in yellow, and they never actually received their ROD numbers. They came back in as they'd been painted by Ashford. I think it might still be on the platform. It was the last time I went there. Ah, fair enough. I mean, it is a good way of raising money. I would love to see Primrose actually wear that livery. Certainly add something to when they do their Southern at War weekends to have a loco that went to war in the livery it wore to war. Sure, Hatton's made Primrose in ROD as well as 753. They did make Primrose in ROD, but they did it wrong because they gave it its ROD number, which it didn't get. It never actually wore the ROD number, which was, for those wondering, 5027. So it was, it was the same number but with 5,000 added. It's fair, it's that ridiculous khaki colour they keep painting them in gets me. There's no evidence of any colour even being like that even being used. No, indeed there isn't. But yeah, Hatton's did Primrose in ROD livery with the number 5072. But when Primrose went to war. It went in that livery with the number 27. 5027, not 5072. It went to war as 27 because Ashford painted it. And it came back without having had any more paint put on it and without having its ROD number applied. So the Hattons one is wrong in that sense. But it's nice that they did that livery. So yes, I do think that'd be a nice one to have, but with the number right. One next number for ROD and khaki as a livery is not mentioned anywhere. Black's by far the most common colour. Yes, black was indeed the most common, wasn't it? What all the Brighton locos that went over war. Oh look, and the bot wants us to hydrate. Just as I'm fitting a window to size. Well, you can wait, bot. And there are all our windows fitted. But yes, as the bot says, hydration is important. Good evening, GWR. How are you? I hope you are well. And of course, I did actually cut this super long so that I had bits to do the front and back of the birdcage. Would be nice to see Birchgrove in Umber, either with Birchgrove or LBSC. Is Birchgrove not wearing Umber anymore? Oh no, of course it's in Southern, isn't it now? Has been for a while. I forget that. It would indeed be nice to see it in Umber, ideally properly. No idea where they get the khaki idea from. Locos sent to the Middle East in World War II were painted sand colour. Makes sense. I mean, if I were hiding stuff in the desert, I'd paint it sand colour. Although, as we all know, the correct colour for painting your things you're hiding in the sand is pink. For those that don't know that, I'm not even joking. Desert camouflage is pink. Well, it is on vehicles anyway. Not so much on clothing. Guess on okay, bit blown from yesterday's rather eventful day, which lasted until the early hours 4 AM this morning. That's quite a long day. I don't often have days that last till 4 AM. From the LMS region, but I like other regions' locos. There's nothing wrong with that. Imagine Birchgrove and old LBSC smokebox, quite a sight. Yes, indeed, Javier. What would be really nice to be Birchgrove backdated to wear IEG, indeed. if Birchgrove was one of the ones that did wear IEG. I can't remember whether Birchgrove had IEG or goods because the class wore both. At least somewhere the War Department or Service Print, indeed it is. Should explain the Arabian Flamingo Squadron. Indeed, James, indeed it would. Don't think it's one of the ones that wore goods green, but would be nice to see something in that livery too. Yes, yes it would. I would love to see something actually in goods green. Just looking in again, sound not on, glad to see his four-wheelers are nearing completion. Thank you, Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you. Hope you are well. I will type something in a second to say hello. Since your sound's not on. There we go. Yesterday was longer for me. I had 100% zero sleep, doing a forced reset on purposes on before me. Ensured I slept last night on proper time, around 3 to 5 a.m. Bedtimes are hard. Reset naturally. Indeed they are. The preserved E1 in goods green? Yes, that would be fantastic. Pick on the SE&CR website, Birchgrove's in IEG. Ah, excellent. Play PlayStation all night. Ah, that's certainly one way to keep yourself up, I suppose. Last time I did an all-nighter was for a live stream. It was a 24-hour live stream I was watching. Managed to watch the whole thing. Locomotive absolutely love to see restored is sharp. 400 after last year, but was told that extremely unlikely to be massive underpowered. Yeah, it is the weakest loco on the line. It makes Baxter look strong. So, yeah, that will probably never see service, but I would love to see it restored as well. It's not just you. Did say about cosmetic overall, though, to display it somewhere. Well, that would be good. That would be very good indeed. "24-hour live stream." Like, yeah. So I managed to watch the whole thing. I was rather impressed with myself. In fact, I partook in it for a bit because there was a portion of playing War Thunder and I joined in. Back in the days when I used to play War Thunder. J94 Sharp Fawn is a Manning Wardle K class. It's a beautiful little loco. And there we have that one glazed. So they're all on wheels, they're all glazed. We actually still need to, stick the roofs on these ones as well. Then we need to stick the roofs on these ones and make the bird cages for them. Isn't this exciting? Love to see Gladstone overhaul. Oh god, yeah. Gladstone overhaul would be amazing. So as I've said before, we are using glue and glaze to stick the roofs on. The reason we do that is because there is nothing in the glue and glaze that as it goes off will cause the windows to fog up like super glue would. So super glue would be bad. It would cause us to have foggy windows, and we don't want foggy windows. So we just run a bead round the edge, drop the roofs on, and leave it to set. This manual was one of the locomotives built for the original East Grinstead Railway, Blue Beret. It was indeed. That would be nice. Making your own heritage railway productions, sure would. What you do want to do is to wipe the glue that's oozing down the side of the composite roof, though. Nah, it's fine. I can do that, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll all dry absolutely fine, and you won't notice it, especially the bits on the inside. Non-foggy windows are the best sort of windows. That they are. One tip I was given by Experienced Wagon Builder Club is to drill holes in the floor to let glue fumes out. Yeah, you can do that, and you can use super glue that way, but I don't trust it. Just looked up Sharp 4, it's a nice little loco. It is, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. Not sure, I'm hoping that it got moved to Sheffield Park along with the locos. It would be nice if it does, wouldn't it? I don't know, James, are you modelling a winter's day fogged up windows are entirely prototypical? I'm not, though. Might dry clear, but if it's lumpy. Generally, I find this dries okay, but yes, you're right, Linny. Isn't the Bluebell overhauling Stowe the stalls class? Yes, they are. As far as I know, they are indeed. Yes, Stowe is on the currently being overhauled list. Thinking Sharpthorne helped build the Bluebell, think they would want to display it somewhere. Yeah, whereas at the moment it is tucked away somewhere. I've never, no matter how many times I've been to the Bluebell, I don't think I have ever seen Sharpthorne up close. I think I have only seen it in pictures. Which is a shame. And there we go. The whole rake is now roofs on. Super Glue loves to bloom, even with delayed reaction. Bugged up. Not a few paint jobs. Indeed, it is horrible, isn't it? So once I get to a stage where I'm painting and I'm glazing and stuff, it is always the glue and glaze and not super glue because of that. Other than obviously chassis repairs and stuff. Changes from notice for idea acquisition. Stowe was the second model railway locomotive that I ever had at the age of about 4. Excellent. I have a model of Stowe as well, James. Cheltenham's nearly out of ticket annoyingly. That is annoyingly. I haven't either. The closest I've seen it is when it was behind a coach, 3 tracks into the yard from platform 1. Yeah, I think that's about as close as I've got to it as well. So, it's time to come back to this, where we now have a curvy bit of plasticard. Just like that. You're right, James. You're very right. Hydration is important. So, being curved, for those that missed it, we use my coffee pot. being curved round that and then filling it with boiling water to heat this up has meant that it now keeps its shape. It is not quite curved as much as this. I would like it to be, but it's not. But it is enough for what we're doing. We actually don't want this half at all. That was just done. So that it was the right size for fitting over the coffee pot. And if I bend those a bit more, the blue lines on there are actually drawn around these and purposely oversized. So that works about right there. And it does want to lose just a little bit on its length, but not much at all. Remember to smash it or gently tap that like button, folks, and subscribe if you haven't already. Yes, as Linny says, smashing like buttons, subscribing, it really does mean a lot and it really does help the channel. And there's a link to my Instagram from the bot. Nice Coach Jerry, thank you J94. On very happy news on Train Sim front, for me at least. Caledonia Works doing Hughes Crab. First Stanley Mogul, now this. I've died and gone to heaven. Excellent. Glad to hear you are happy, Mr. Mole. Anyone think you're some kind of Midland region mole, Alex? Locomotive currently being restored at the Bluebell, 672 Fenchurch, Schools Class Stowe, Sir Archibald Sinclair, P Class number 27. Been rumbled. So, for these, we are going to add glue to one side only. And we are going to glue it on that side. And only on that side for the time being. The problem with glue and glaze is it does need you to hold it to get it to stick initially. I did used to have a shoelace that I'd wrap around and tie on these, but it's gone missing recently. Right, we'll give that a bit of time to sit on its own and it will be fine. That's a nice perfect cut. You too can learn how to cut by eye like that. It just requires lots and lots of practice, over which time you will get it wrong many hundreds of times. They're also constructing an Atlantic-class Beachy Head and converting the Standard 2 into a tank engine. They are indeed. Baton Club, they are indeed building an Atlantic and painting it in the wrong livery. Quite, Alex, quite. I'm looking forward to seeing Beachy Head completed, as am I. Still reckon that D1 would be a good new build for reserve line, powerful enough to handle, say, 6 Mark 1s, but not big enough the hunger for coal like a merchant navy. D1 would be amazing new build. D1 would be nice, still rooting for an E5. What type of D1? Doubting Furness. No, LBSC. Linny is still obviously very happy with the D1 that they've been working on today. I did a lot of build work for them on stream. It was great. So again, as before, we've only stuck it on the one side. It won't stick very well at first. We'll leave it like that. If we look at this one, where I've poked it down just a second ago, it is now stuck right at the end. So we give that a bit longer to set nicely, and then we can apply glue to the other side and roll this side down. And then that will be that. And that is now that side stuck as it should be. We have over an hour left, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, I'm going to remind you, hydration, still important. Right, chat has got away from me and is off the top of the page. I think I've not heard of D1. I'm excited for it. Need to brush up on my SE&CR knowledge. Managed to source some better glue than PVA for track lane this week. Latex base, but not expensive as copy days. Ah, excellent. Be streaming video and painting D1, but wheels are a lot of hassle to paint, so I'm doing most of those ahead of time. Search up D1 at Sanson Loco, be number 231 Horsham. Oh, don't be silly, mouse. All you need to know about LBSC is terriers equal good. I mean, that's true, terriers are good. Didn't they? Due to a terrier on steroids. No, the E1 was a terrier on steroids. D1's row 14 passenger same style as terriers and E1s. I said that I do, although I don't put much on it. I really want to model a D1. What's the channel name or sub? Looking absolutely beautiful, Gary. Thank you, GWR. I knew you meant the coaches. I knew what you meant. Same as me, I haven't done much on it. If you search Adams Radial Linton, you'll find it. Right. Hang on a second, everyone. Because what we have over here, hidden away at the back of the layout, actually in the car park of all places, is a D1. Much like Primrose, it's number 27. This is Uckfield. There's a 042 express passenger tank in correct head code for its job and its location. Looking absolutely fantastic, if I do say so myself. Lining transfers created by me, because no one does them yet. So that is what a D1 looks like. If the model companies like Hatton's or me, Batman, etc., making pre-grouping, hopefully a D1 may be made ready to run. That would be fantastic. Get an E1 for Model Rail Rapido, which I'm looking forward to. Indeed, as am I. I'll be getting 3 of them. RTR D1 will be much easier than getting Southeastern Finecast 1. The Southeastern Finecast 1 isn't that hard. And if you need to see how to do it, I know someone that did a series of live streams on it. Are we nearing release for that one? We are not, Javier, unfortunately. It's not even in the early stages yet. It's basically an OCO version of D1, smaller driving wheels. Bit different, but yeah. If they make an E2, I'm screwed. D1 would make sense after the A1s and E1s. It would. They could do a B1 whilst they're at it. I won't complain at one of them. We'll get And even if they want to do a C one, we'll get the whole alphabet in Brighton locos. No, not for a while. They're doing GWRSOT first. Yep, exactly. Can't remember what one they're doing. 16XX, I think. Didn't know they're making an E1. They can take my money now. E2s won't have a lower running bill or the splasher. Yeah, but extended tanks, etc. Yeah. Indeed. There is a kit for doing that to the Hornby one. So I have a Hornby one with extended tanks, courtesy of an etch from Shire Scenes. That's the one that do the etched sides for the ratio coaches. The first one. Rapido have at least announced they are hoping to return to the UK market properly, so hopefully more from them in the future. That would be excellent if Rapido got back in. Over the 70s or 80s, Hornby LBSC2 will be a bit wobbly guy, but she still works. Right. I need to... Oh, there's what I was looking for. That was quick, wasn't it? I was just saying I need to grab this little wagon. And we can get some paint on that whilst we wait for the glue to set on these roofs. Nice E2, Roxy Moles and edges. No, my E2 is Hornby. I've got two of them. So this will be my Bradfords of Eastbourne private owner wagon. We built it some time ago when we had some space on the stream we needed to fill. It is a red oxide wagon, which I have found personally, it's not going to work for everyone, but for me, Humbrol's Matte 70 is really good on it. Have Rapido announced what liveries they're releasing the E1 in? Yes, they have, but I can't remember what they are. Lots of them. Tank extensions. But tank extensions are Shire Scenes, who are owned by Dark Castings. I don't know if they still make them, but that's who they were. My eyes weigh heavy. I feel my day comes to a close. Good night, Yaron. Good night, Becca. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you have chosen to spend this evening with us. It does mean a lot. Don't appear on Shire Scene's website. See, that's how I know they used to do them. I got it pre-done. I haven't opened one of these. Let's put that lid back on and see if this open one actually has paint in it. Because this one is unopened. I never knew about Rapido doing an E1 until we mentioned it a few minutes ago. Well, now you do. So they're doing free LBSC liveries. I know that because I'm getting the free of them. They're doing improved engine green, they're doing goods green, and they're doing umber. Although the umber one will actually be early southern with a B number on it. But that won't be hard to remove and have free Brighton engines. Yep, plenty in there. Although, have I thinned that down for airbrushing? That would be annoying. I don't think I have. It's not like my primer that is definitely thinned down for airbrushing, so I can't use it. So yes, this is a 5 and 9 models kit we built a few weeks ago. And it has been sat waiting to receive some paint ever since. You'd think I would have got some primer in that time, but I didn't. So it's not getting primed. However, it'll look fine. As soon as okay, I was looking at the website yesterday, Darkcast, Shastings, MJT, etc. Great Modern Hub. Indeed they are. Very nice company to deal with. Plutak. You make a good point, Alex. Plutak. As is with Monsters Island pouring, etc. It is indeed. Oh, what wood colour did I use? I think that one. Humbrol 186. It's natural wood is what is its colour name. I think it is that one. I find that it doesn't work on large areas of wood, but on small things like that boiler, it works beautifully. I'm hoping to expand my southern region fleet a bit, a few LNER and SG, but not many southern regions. Everyone needs more southern, yeah. Cannot disagree with Alex there. Never built white metal wagon kit, might have solved piddling about stuff in lead in. It certainly would. They are very nice heavy kits. I do enjoy working in white metal. Because I'm just a masochist like that. I get decent coverage on the first go, and that'll help make up for the lack of primer. But yeah, this is a wonderful way. You can't see on its own when there's no other wagons about, but it's absolutely tiny, this wagon as well. There is something you might be able to see, but I'm not going to point it out, and I'm going to hope for the best. And I'll correct it later. Let's have a look for that one. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Southern rules out. So do I really enjoy white? So do I, Gary. Really enjoy the white metal kits I've done so far. Yeah, it's a wonderful material, isn't it? Once you get over that initial, oh dear, white metal's so scary that everyone says, it is a wonderful material to work with. I have never accidentally melted a piece of white metal. Yes, I have done it on purpose. The only thing you need for white metal is the appropriate tools. Southern Railway is an interesting one. Lots of old classes surviving for ages, only a handful of new classes. Heavy focus on third rail electric. Love it. Indeed, it was. And it was the focus on third rail is why so many old classes lasted, because they didn't want to be building new ones. with because their intention was to electrify the entire network. Current favourite wagon kits are Cambrian, yellow square packets, only bit one white metal kit, as old SEFE2, wasn't impressed, so much fun. It was an old kit, I suppose. Yeah, most of the SCF ones are okay, but certainly before all the moulds were redone, there were certainly more issues. And yes, I do enjoy Cambrian kits as well. I forgot it was blue tacked down there. I'd like the full Wainwright C-Class, but not at that price. Yes, so would I, but again, I agree about the price. That's why I made my own E2s. Ah, well. I mean, your E2s are very nice, so there's some advantages of it. It's worth every penny we see in the flesh. That's why I love my C-Class Wainwright. Wash the brush. Notice how on the Cambrian kits someone has marked cute. I'm a stonking the tooling. Yes, I have seen that on some of them. That certainly come off nicer than the black did. So let me just check if I've got any wagons over on the layout quickly, just so that people can realise just how small this one is. There we go. So we got Brighton Open A, which if I put next to here and line up those ends, it's hugely shorter than. Might do a GBLC class conversion, less detailed fraction of the price, and can add things to it. Yes, I've done one of them, it works well. Right, I'm going to hop to bed now after yesterday's NTA's events, which resulted in throwing bedtime things early-ish. Sleep would be wise. Great work again, mate. Okay, good night, GWR. That does sound like a good idea. Stay safe, my friend. Sleep well. Alright, sit well. In a way, it's good that they wanted to electrify the railway because it meant that lots of older locomotives were served, Terriers, SCR tank engines, smaller tender engines, lots more. Yes, that's a very good point, Heritage Railway Productions. Going to paint the soul bars to match the body. I can't remember if the soul bars do match the body on this one. I need to check my picture. Do they do thumpers in double O gauge? There's kits for thumpers. I don't know. Yes, Bachmann, of course. Goodness, that is what. Yeah, it's absolutely tiny. For anyone that doesn't know the size of an Open A, we have a Dapol van. We'll line those ends up there, and you can see that it's not much more than 2/3 the length of the Dapol van, so it is absolutely tiny. Oh, you're the wrong instruction sheet. Well, that's no good. Because the instruction sheet I want for this also has the transfers for this, for when I do them. Oh, there it is. Oh yes, indeed, the soul bars do match So I'd best do those. Thank you for mentioning it, Linny. Suddenly really want to get one because it's so small. Yeah, they're fantastic, aren't they? So it's 5 and 9 models, a coal wagon, 5 and 9 models.co.uk. Chris has a lot of these with different owners listed on the website. Drop him an email. The website still says he's not trading. He is. So drop him an email and he will have it. And his lead times on them are brilliant. Usually, it depends on how busy he is, obviously. And it was a wonderful kit to build. Might need more 1830s wagons than you first thought. Oh, excellent. More wagons is the best type of wagons. Yes, Chris Cox that makes these is a really awesome guy, really talented modeler. So I can definitely recommend spending some money with him. That coupling needs to come out. There we go. But yeah, when you get to his website and it says that he's not trading anymore, ignore it. Need to speak to Killian again at some point. Yes, you should. Before I go to its video, and maybe the next wish to see will be delayed, cancelled. Sorry. Just how things are turning out. Good night. Oh, okay. If you need someone to chat to, drop me a message. Just discovered 24/7 models are working on a kit for a Met passenger full brake in 4mm. Let's just do the other Met stock and MDR stock. Where we buy these wagon kits? 5 and 9 models.co.uk. There's Chris Cox, he's a great guy. I can't remember what his email address is, but obviously it's on the website. Made dapper logo kits before. I just want to get the static ones right before I move on to operational kits. That makes perfect sense. That is a good way to bring yourself into learning to do kits. I certainly didn't start out building locos from day one. Gary doesn't trust us mods to do our job. I do trust you to do your job. You're both very good at your job. Right, there we go. Now it's painted properly. That one is at some point getting a load in it. It's going to be a loaded one. Started loco building, right track DVDs. Good old Tony Wright. Funny, love the bloke. He is a interesting person, is Tony Wright. Linking Footbridge and Self-Promotion is now uploaded. Excellent. I will look forward to giving that a watch tomorrow, Simon. That is fantastic to hear that it's done. Which just begs the question of what's next on the workbench, Simon. Because we can't have you leaving it empty. There we go. The bot wants you to know hydration is important. I want you to know that my hydration vessel needs refilling, so I'd best do that. Hardest kit I did DP1 Delta, reason being I had to put more coats of paint on it at least 1 or 4 times. Yeah. Fair enough. Five and 9 has too many wagons and coach kits I want. Why does Chris Scott have to be so good at what he does? Oh, isn't he fantastic? Have you seen all his 1840s stuff, Alex? So yes, as the bot says, hydration is important. But yeah, I have a shopping list of his. Oh, that's a point. For anyone who is on my Discord server, if you go to the Marketplace channel and check the pinned messages, you will find Chris Cox's latest price list for 5 and 9 models. It is all, I forgot I have that on there. And that has a lot of stuff. That has stuff that is not on the website, and it also doesn't have stuff that is on the website and is no longer available. So that's probably a good place to check for things. Thinking of soon building all my etched kits in one hit. Been in the maturing cabinet too long. Want to start making own etches now. I found 2D program I get on with. Need revision. Oh, excellent. Excellent indeed. Tomorrow day they'll be too heavy for the motor bogies. I don't know, honestly. Because I don't know how much the motor bogies can take or how much weight you can get on them. No, you won't. It's not pinned. I'll get onto that now. Oops. I thought it was pinned. I'm sure it's pinned in one of the channels. Maybe it's in the works chatter. It's a choice between laying more tracks. I managed to source a full pack of Code 55 of Coal Yard scenes put together from P&D Marsh. Oh, well, I always approve of more track, Simon. More track means more fun on running sessions. Bye, so for a nice video. Okay, good night, J94. Thanks for coming by. Keep on forgetting to join the Discord when the link shows up. I need to at some point. I don't know the post is pinned. But it's in Works Chatter. There we go. So it's not in the Marketplace. It's in Works Chatter. And Great Northern, you can get the Discord link anytime you want with !Discord, as Linny has done. So there we go. Now you can join. It's a great community. I don't know why I've put Chris Cox's price list in Works Chatter. I'll have to move it over to the marketplace at some point. Mods don't feel the need to do that for me. I'm quite capable. So these are now significantly dry. We can, as you can see, push that down. It's maintaining its shape, which means we can drop a little bit of glue in there, as far up as we can get without pulling the roof off, and get it stuck down. I will leave that a second to let the glue start going off, whilst I get some on here. That's all fallen on the front rather than the top, so we'll just use the tweezers here to move it onto the top. When I eventually finish pattern T, I'll test its strength. Good idea, Alex. Very good idea. Because of course that will make the individual loco will have specs different. That's drawing now. Excellent. Glad to hear it, Great Northern. Looping in the inclines and 2 lower loops over the sidings. Yes, do it, Simon. Do it. More track, more fun. Use a bit of plastic artwork. Need some buffers and couplings at the end of the rake. It does indeed, and I've actually, the buffers are sat in there. My little yellow disc thing at the top of the disc pile. And the birdcage roofs that need painting. And possibly sides adding. They do need, I know they need sides adding. Probably going to need more coaches from you, Linny. They are nice and light. I approve of Linny coaches. This is not wanting to glue today. I can prove this method works. I've got one sat behind me. I don't remember having to hold it for this long. Right, they can stay not stuck down for now then. But I can show you from my grounded body that I do know what I'm doing. The birdcage does stick down. And for those that want to know about this grounded body and how it came to be, that was this Tuesday's very long 45-minute video. I had a great time making that. If you're middle not yes, to tell they won't weigh much. Enough glued some weights under the floors. Yeah, what I think that they are light to a point that they need some weights adding. Even like the Stroudleys are, so I imagine those ones are what, half the weight of those. I think about 2p's worth. Alex has two of my Craven. Yes, I'm aware he has two of your Craven coaches. So I assume they're half the weight of the Stroudleys. It's tiny but mostly wooden rather than card. I do wait until I know my logos pulled before choosing what weight, so I'm very concerned the motor bogies won't be able to pull much. Hopefully you'll get enough weight on them that they can be quite good pullers. Right, so we're going to get some black on the bottom of this. And it'll basically be looking like a finished wagon then. Even though it won't be, because it will still probably need another coat. We'll definitely need another coat. And then some transfers. But those are not ready for me to glue them down just yet. And if I'm being entirely honest, it won't upset me too much if that has to be the start of next week's stream. I'd much rather get them done right. Wouldn't you? Spud's definitely plenty of weight to get a good pickup too. So these early tenders so small. I like adding Bill Bedford spring units in wagons. Did it in P4 builds. Wheel swap makes them 00. Lovely over point work. I bet they are. Although Bill Bedford ones are at the more advanced level of springing systems to build, aren't they? I've been hearing some horror stories of a Bill Bedford kit join my model club nights on a Monday recently. One of the members, like the brakes on his wagon kit that he full Bill Bedford kit rather than just the springing units, and the brakes on it contained 10 parts just for brakes like this on one side. Some in the body, some under the cold. Can't do any more than that. No, you cannot. I need to get some Stradler coaches, either a kit or Thomas Tank red coach repaints. I said the red coach repaints do work well. I had a great time with mine. They do look rather nice. They certainly give the effect of being LBSC coaches. Got Roxy Mould's LBSCR Stradley brake coach. If I build that and it goes well, might buy a full train's worth. Bill Bedford sprung WI and cells are easy to build, but you have to mod the wagon kits to accommodate. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I do have some Comet W irons that can be sprung, and they've got all the springing kit in them, but they also don't have to be. Which is nice, because obviously in 00 it's not as necessary as it is in P4. And I like the fact that the kits that I've got from Comet cater for both. And there we go. One painted wagon. I'd also like to do the red coat repaint. Not built a full build kit, so I don't know. I got annoyed with a part side horse box kit. So many bits that could be moulded, totally unnecessary instructions were naff. Yeah, that's what it was about the Bedford kit. What he said was there's no need for there to be this many parts. Some of these could easily be like 4 or 5 of them could have been one part. This battle will launch TC range over here at some point in the near future. We'll save having to import stuff. Yes, it'll be fantastic not having to import stuff. So that was most of the price on my red coaches, was the import fee on them. They were not cheap. But they are absolutely fantastic. Black paint really doesn't like to come off. That's where it's getting old, I guess. Oh, look, there's another link to Discord. But yeah, the Bachmann red coaches do scrub up very nice with a repaint. And these ones are close coupled using hunt couplings that give an effect very similar to the original Stroudley close couplings of the Suburban four-wheelers. But they do scrub up absolutely beautifully. And I think I've got an absolutely wonderful polished looking finish on these ones as well, actually. I'm very happy with them. Any experience with Coopercraft? Got a mink to build up. The only thing I know about Coopercraft is don't order from them anymore. Do love those coaches. They do look very good. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Lovely coaches. Thank you. Yes, when you consider what they are, they've come out absolutely beautifully. At least in my opinion, they have. Right. Buffers, that's what I was going to do. Buffers, they're in here. One, two, three. That's the one I want. 4. Yeah, unfortunately only 3 of them have a spoke on the back, but I'm not sure all of the holes are there in the buffer beams for them, so that's fine. That one they are. That one they're not. So let's start with the one where they are. Where we can hopefully... Yep, that pokes in fine. So we can just dab some super glue on those. with some buffers on, they will really make the rake look nice. No, that's proper stuck in, so I'm going to put this one away and get one of the others that doesn't have a locating pin on it. We want to make sure we give it long enough that it's not going to fall because these don't have the locating pin. Obviously that's not ideal. But this is the joy of working with second-hand kits that have been built once before. And there we go, we have buffers on the outside of the rake. And now we take the knife and we very carefully open up that hole slightly. I always deceive me, are those buffers longer than normal? They're reasonably long buffers, but they're the correct buffers for this kit. They're about right sat next to the P-class. The unusual coupling hole ritual. Joys of working with Smiths, isn't it? Just open it up, but very slightly each time. Try and work it in. If it doesn't, get the knife back. Knife file drill repeat, indeed. Just laser the slot in first time. Ah, if only. And there we go, we have a hook. Best grab my other coupling, some actual couplings. Here are the open ones. So I hope this hole is suitable for these ones as well, because that one's actually come out that wagon. Yep, fine. Yeah, that one belongs to that. Nem pockets are a pain, nearly always in line with the real coupling holes, RTR wagon weights, vice hats all based on them rather. Yes, indeed they are. So I told my coach Nem pocket separate part added if wanted, leaving a nice slot in the buffer beam space behind it. So like NEM stands designed to make non-NEMers lives. It is, isn't it? Yes. I often find NEM pockets to be right in the way. And it is very irritating. This one appears to have actually had a coupling in it, the plastic coupling hook in it at some point in its past life. Let's see if we can poke that out. If not, I'll have to drill it out. No, we got it. There we go. That saves fiddling about with drill bits. I designed mine with space behind, but don't bother with an NEM provision. Fair enough. And people that are building kits, I'm sure a lot of them know how to fit couplings without an NEM pocket. There we go. Perfect. So now we just need to actually build up the couplings. It's been a while since I've done this on camera. Too many of Everone heights, people use different chassis. That's true. I like say I do, but I'm thinking of using tension locks on my 1841 now. You know that tension locks are fine. I know that they're wrong. You know that they're wrong. We both know you don't like them. But after actual proper couplings, they're the best ones. True, but I design wrong, so I provide chassis myself. Words of Tony Wright, tension locks are only snowplows. I use it once in my tension locks frustrating realism killers. They are indeed. I do feel that they spoil a model, but I understand why people like using them. Little silly agrees. Bad eyesight, unsteady hands, and very light stock. Say otherwise. Yep, fair enough. Those are all good reasons. Now I just need to pick up this one bit that I dropped on the floor. Quite impressed that I've put that whole bag in back away and only dropped one bit personally. Right, so we are down to 20 minutes to go. We are getting close to the end of the stream. And very close to the end of the project. That's a scary thought, starting on a new project next week. I wish I could do these without ruining them. So it's been a while since I've done them on camera. That one's a bit better. Found them to be unreliable and uncoupling with Mr. Hand is a pain. And with Alex on this one, I'll use wire loops on logos, scale couplings within fixed rates, but I need to be able to do hands-free shunting. I normally do shortened tension locks though. Just seen the Bluebells Instagram post a picture of C-Class, lots of decorations, white coal, pulling King's Coat for the reopening of the station. Yes, I saw that earlier. It's a fantastic picture, isn't it? Yes, anything I can do with mine. No tension locks, less noticeable as possible, I would do. Dingham auto couplers, hands-free, my choice. More faff though. I do run enough stock on Aero Park trying to scale couplings, let alone tiny lightweight 1840 trains. And there is the bot wanting you to smash the like button, which must mean we are down to about 15 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. And those of other persuasions. Right, there's that one done. I'm honestly not sure that I'm going to bother with the pins on these ones anymore. This will be my last pack of these ones with the pins. I've managed to get some of the better ones that I prefer. But, well, Smith's couplings are expensive enough that I'm not wasting a pack because I've got the ones I prefer. Might keep tension locks along bogey coaches, just want fixed rates. End of the rake will have Dinghams with a bodged super loop. No, been trying it. Oh, fair enough. Sorry, I can't like the video. Someone smashed the like button. You need to repair it before anyone can like it. Don't worry, the like button has an auto repair system, James. It is quite alright. It takes milliseconds for it to repair itself. Most of the time, not even that. But if you've not liked what you've seen tonight, make sure to smash that dislike button too. And then leave me a comment about why you didn't like it. I've just put that on without looping it through the coupling hook. That was clever, wasn't it? Remember, don't do that because you actually need your coupling attached to the coupling. Couplings couple better when attached to a coupling. That's Gary's top tip. Like button will sleep sound tonight knowing its purpose in life has been fulfilled. I choose Smiths, they're slightly overscale, better for use with Dinghams. Just minor filing. I use Smiths because they're overscale and I can use my coupling rod on them easier. Gosh, that's impressive. It just tested it and it worked. It's great, isn't it, James? Well, I must confess I failed to unlike it again afterwards. I thought the two presses might be a bit much for it. 0 out of 10, not enough pre-1870s content. There's one dislike earlier, but now it's disappeared. You must change their mind. See? And that's why, even if you don't like my content, you should stick around and watch it all the way through. Because you never know when it might suddenly turn into something you do like. So we'll get that coupling in there. We'll get that spring on there. And then we'll do the same on this one. I notice I was keep on looking at the coaches, makes me want to cut up some ratio 4-wheel brakes. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. If I am making people want to cut up brakes, I'm doing something right. Joe might start disliking everything in protest for lack of early railway content. I've got a dumb buffered private owner wagon. I don't think it has a year for when these were built on them. No, it doesn't appear to. But the company that it's for was founded in 1828, so that's quite early. Me, what companies use Cravens and Journey? I haven't actually fitted up some of them yet. Club at the moment, so I can't get to see them part side and end pockets at the right height. Ah, there's an idea of what they will be, though. So, yeah, we have a rake of coaches. We've got 10 minutes to go. And look at that. The glue's got to a point now where that one's stuck down. Bet this one hasn't. I bet all the glue's run away on this one. Yes, I need to put the sides on the bird cages. Yeah, I know. But I can't do that until the roofs stick down. And the glue's run away on that one, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Because you see, I do the sides to the size afterwards. Be interesting what you do. Sorry I'm late. Shot clock says I'm 4 minutes early. Evening, Killian. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Thank you for dropping by, even if it is late. Grandfather built this stream for I mean Oak Hill, not Greenwich. Oh. Excellent. Excellent indeed. Quite well, the carriages are looking nice. Thank you, Killian. I'm glad you are well. The carriages are looking very, very nearly finished. Look, they've got buffers and couplings and everything. So the only thing holding us up is this corner not sticking down. Everything else is okay, and then I can get sides on the bird cages, and they just need a tiny bit of paint after that. It's quite irritating that this corner is holding us back. Nice bit pros, just rivets, my god, I'm not amazed about rivets. So we've had to have similar nightmares. Well, but yeah, it seems to be common for people doing CAD to have these nightmares, doesn't it? I'm glad I don't. Any chance in Baton Birdcage and Wellington Brown have been wondering when they were painting that livery? The person to ask isn't here this evening. I can't remember when the repaints into Wellington Brown happened, but they are too late for my period. Riveting is a pain with CAD. It is with models as well, to be fair. Mainly in providing late pre-grouping era. Yes, I've got a feeling it was 1915, but I'm not sure on that. I could be very, very, very wrong. Least CAD have Control Z. True. Right, where's my plastic gone? So, the birdcage sides. We'll start on this side because it's the transferred side. All I do is I cut a strip and I'm cutting it wide now because I don't want to have to lift the whole sheet up to measure this. Cut a strip, see how thick it needs to be. Helps if you cut in a straight line. See how long it needs to be. Check that it's right by sliding it into place. Helps if your tools aren't covered in glue. Which it is. And that one's holding itself so nicely that we'll just attach a bit of glue from the outside and let it seep in. And there is a birdcage side. Size, space and integration, you simply can't skip. You have to be rivet counter with quite a shield, so the prototype isn't consistent. Yes, indeed. According to my Google for the paint on level 1, so yes, classic wartime simplification. Probably didn't survive long in that livery before the SR repainted them. Would have thought we repainted during the war to reduce work on painting. And there's a link to my Twitter. That means we are about to end the stream. We are, of course, going to get this on first, though, because I still make it 2 minutes too. That's irritating. I mean, this is the unimportant side, so it's not too irritating. And the corner is down. And that side is on. So we need to do wartime grade coaches in Wellington Brown. Yes, that would be the ideal combination. The corner is no longer down. So other than a spot of paint, that one is completely finished. This one is being held up by a corner, not wanting to stay glued down, which is a shame. But we have just hit midnight, which means it is time to finish. Before we do, however, I'm going to ask a question here of the people. So next week is definitely going to see the start of the LBSC D3 kit. The question is, do you want me to start the stream by finishing these off, or shall I finish them off camera and show you them at the start and say, aren't they pretty? So that we can get straight in with the new project. That is what I want to know from you. I will also ask this question on Thursday's video, so all responses will be much appreciated. Difficult choice, both have their merits. They do, don't they? I think if they're finished off camera, then I shall use these carriages as my background. I say finish off camera. I vote for finish carriages, more chance for a paint spill. Off stream. It does seem to be going for an off stream. So start off with a D3 and try be on. I'd say start off with a D3. I'll try and be on time. It'd be excellent if you are, Killian, but if you're not, it's not the end of the world. So, yes, thank you for coming, everyone. It has been an excellent stream. It has been great seeing how active you have been in chat today. It has been great seeing seeing at least one pop up on my watch with someone new joining the Discord. Extending the community. I absolutely love it. I say off cam, they look almost done anyway. Well, yeah, I mean, this one just needs its roof painting and the sides, and it's done. This one just needs the roof sides adding and painting, so it really is nothing. So yes, thank you for coming, everyone. You have been absolutely awesome as always. So good night. Thank you for coming. I've been Gary. This has been Let's Build. You have been awesome. Bye for now.